Hi, in this video, we will see how to deploy an R model as an API. So in this particular video, we will see how to create an RDS model file and then how we can load it and convert it into an API, which can then be taken independently to any place and deploy it. Maybe it is an Azure cloud or any local infrastructure which your organization provides. So stay with me and I'll show you that. So let me show you how it works. So basically this is an test point of my API. So you can see that my API is running and I have provided certain inputs here for the iris dataset, and you see that it has predicted Setosa for this particular input, and if I show you, then this particular input is indeed Setosa. So this is basically an overview, and if you want to test it out in your browser, so you can take out this URL, and if you go to your browser, so let me just show you. So basically, so you can see that it has been now, it has predicted that this is Setosa. So you can use this API and deploy it, and you can merge it with your C#, Java or Python or whatever code you want to do. So for this purpose, first of all, we will simply go and import the libraries. So I will import dplyr, random forest, and I will use the inbuilt data, that is iris dataset. And basically I'm here, I'm attaching this data so that I do not have to write every time data $sepal length or data $sepal width. So this is inbuilt data. If you want to use your own data set, then you can simply read that by using read CSV or some functions. And if you want to import your data from SQL server, then I also have a video on that, so do check out that. So here you see that once I have imported my data, I am basically here creating a random forest dataset data model. So basically you can see that it is a very simple random forest model, and here I am using entry equals to 100, and I am basically predicting the species based on sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width. Okay, so I hope you all are familiar. So this is basically my data, my model, my random forest model. So I have named it as iris underscore rf, where rf is simply referring as random forest. Here in this my model file, basically where I am building my model, I have created a function to provide the predictions. Okay, so basically whenever my API will hit call this particular RDS file or this model, then basically I will use this particular function to make predictions. So I have here written function. Here I am passing my model, my data, and I am using the predict function, and here I am providing the model name and my data. Okay, so this is basically when I will load my data file, and then I will provide this function and these parameters, then it will return my prediction. So I'm after prediction, I'm storing them into new.predictions and I'm returning them. Okay, so it will all make sense. Stay with me and do remember these steps. I will also post these things in comment section also, or not in the comments, in the description box also. And then after I have just built my model and I have created a function for the predictions here, I will simply save the model as an RDS file. So I have created a model list where I have created a vector, and there I have simply stored a few things. So I have stored my model object. So I am providing that iris underscore rf is my model, which I have predicted here or I have created here. So here in this vector, I have simply written that model list dollar model object. So I am providing that iris underscore rf is my model. Then in this, I am also providing my function name. So whatever predictions are this function makes, so I am also using it here. So basically, this function I am providing it here also. So this is basically my function name, new predictions, and I am also storing into my model object, which I am going to store as a RDS file. So remember these two things. Here in the model object, I am storing my model, and here in the new predictions, this is basically my function name that will make the prediction. So do pay your attention here that these two are the things. Okay, so let me run these things and I'll show you. So let me run these scripts one by one. And here if I go to the directory, then possibly I can show you that I have now saved my RDS file or R model object. So if I show you, then you can see that here I have iris model.rds, which I have saved from here. So remember that now I have built a model, I have saved the model into the RDS file, and I have also created a functions to make the predictions and return them. Okay, so this is my model file. Okay, now I will create a Plumber API file also that will run this. Okay, so and we will create the endpoints also. So here I am simply importing library Plumber, and then I am importing library random forest also, because I need to make predictions or I need to call the function from my model file or .rds file where I have my random forest model. So to use that functionality, I will need random forest here also. Here I have created an endpoint that is simply get/patrol. So patrol is simply where I want to check that whether my API is running successfully or not. Here I am taking a user input, like this particular function is taking a user parameter, and then simply returning hi, I am listening, and then the message. Okay, then the message whatever the user has provided. If you want to make this blank, you can make it blank. So this will simply return that hi, I am listening, and let us say that if I provide this particular function my name, then it will return hi, I am listening code digest. So basically, this is to check if my API is running. So this is basically sometimes also referred as an echo function, where we want to check that particular API is running or not. Then I am simply reading my model. So whatever model I have created here and saved here in the RDS file, I am simply loading it here in the Plumber file. Okay, so basically here I have read my model into model list. So this will contain my model and the function where I am making the prediction and returning them. Okay, so you can see this here also. My model list contain two objects. Now what I'm doing, that I am creating another endpoint which is taking four parameters, because if you remember, then my model contains four parameters like sepal width, like four input parameters like sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. So these are the parameters which my Plumber API will provide to my random forest model. And so these are basically, I have written them that these are my parameters which my model expects. Then here I am saying that this the name of this endpoint. So you pay your attention here. This is basically a tag, and I'm saying that this is a get method, and this the name of this is predict. So whenever I provide the predict, then it will simply come here. And now I have written this function that will call my that will make predictions for me. So I have loaded my model file. Now I am written that this function expects three parameters. So my API, this endpoint of my API needs four input parameters, that are sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width. After getting them, I will show you that these are originally provided in a string format. So since these are numeric numbers, like the numbers of sepal and sepal width are like 5, 5.2, 3.8. So I am converting them as a numeric. So this is an R function to convert it as numeric. Here I am basically I am taking all these columns and creating a data frame. If you remember that whenever you make any prediction, you provide new data equals to data, you provide your model name, and then you provide the data or data set, whatever you can say that. So basically here, whatever input parameters I am getting, I am creating a data frame of those input parameters. Okay. So here you may wonder that why I have written that again sepal.length equals to sepal.length. So this is basically something that I came across, that when I do not R basically differs sometimes, that thinks that the parameters I have seen while building the model are not the same, although these are same. But sometimes it may give you an error that original variable contains 200 rows and something like that. So these are actually the things which you may encounter. So to avoid them, you need to again provide the column name here in the Plumber API and tell them that sample.length equals to whatever the user has provided. So this has to be written like this, and I have created a x.new data frame. Whatever I have written or my API has received from the user. Now Basically, if you see, then I have loaded my model into model list. So here is my model list where I have read my model, and then I will simply call the functions new predictions. So if you go here and you remember that I have in this model where I have saved my RDS file, I have created two objects. One is model and one is the prediction function. So this is the function which makes predictions, and I have I have read this model list here as model equals to where I have read my RDS file, read RDS. So I know that this model list contains two things. One is my model and one is the output functions which make predictions. So I'm calling the function which make prediction, and I'm providing that model equals to model list dot model object. So if you go here, then you can see that in this model list or in this RDS file which I have saved, I have created a model object and I have provided the model file there. So this model object contains my iris random forest model. Okay. So now you see that I am calling the functions in my model, and I am providing the model name also. That my model is here. Iris underscore rf has been stored in this particular variable, and I am providing that my new data equals to x dot new. So this is basically my new data frame whichever has been received by my user. Okay. Then I am returning y.pred, which are the predictions made by model. Okay. And that is all. Basically, that is all. So these are the few things. I know it might be confusing or might be looking that this is too much, but trust me, you watch this video a few times or just rewind it if you are missing something. But these are very simple things. You see that here I have created the models, I have saved the model, and here I am simply creating, I am loading the RDS file or loading the model, and I am simply creating a function which basically provides my takes my input and makes the predictions. So let me run this and this will make more sense. So now let me run this. You can see that here I can run my API from here also. So let us say that as I told you that one is the function to check whether the API is running successfully. So let me say that coders digest, or you can provide here nothing also. So let me say that right now it provides me, says me, hi, I am listening coders digest. If I do not provide anything, then also it should work. And now it says hi, I am listening. So this is basically an endpoint which can provide me that I am running fine. So this is a thing that you might need to test whether your API is running fine. Okay. And I have another endpoint also, that is predict. So let me check it out. So let me click on try it out, and here I can provide my input parameter. So you see that here it is written as string, while my actually input is not a string, those are numbers. So let me take an example from here. Let us say that I want to take this example number 1, that is 5.1. The input parameters are 5.1, 5.1, 3. Sorry, 5.1, 3.5, 1.4 and 0.2. So this is basically my Setosa species, and if I run it, then it provides me an output here that this is Setosa. It is a JSON kind of, it is a JSON output. And if you want to use this URL, then you can see that the request URL is also printed here. And if I go and if I show you what I can check out here, then you can simply see that I have it as Setosa. So this is basically my API URL, and here is my endpoint and my parameters are here. And you can just simply play with them like 0.5 or whatever. So you see that I changed it to 8 and it says that it is versicolor. So the model is running live now, and you can take this API and deploy it at any place of your choice. And you can test it through here also, or you can take it to Postman or any other API testing tool, and you can basically test it and deploy your model as an R API. So guys, if you find this video helpful, then please do like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in another video.